Good morning, Northeast Ninjas. This is Jamie Reese. Sorry I can't be there for the meeting today, but I wanted to show you the basics of the charting that I've come up with in Excel to replicate what we've seen in the Ninja program, but to do it in a reasonably automated format. What I'm going to show you here is just a brief overview of the chart so you can see the odds of selling, the days on market, scatter, the sold scatter, the neighborhood and sales trends with actual trend lines in there, and then the price line representation. These are all easily printable. We can modify them to put branding on the top and the bottom of them and such. But this is a reasonably automated system. Will take about 10 steps, starting with your search. So we'll go right over to the MLS here. I've pulled up a search that has 37 results ranging from active, pending, sold, and canceled and expired. If you're not only already familiar, once you have your results here, there's a little breakout area here, or a little thing where you can expand this menu so that you can do an export. So I'm going to just click on export and go to full and hit export. And in this case, I'm going to save it, and I'm going to save it to my server here where I've got everything else, and I'll put demo full export and leave it as a text document, and it shouldn't take too long. And I'll go ahead and open up that folder, and here I've got it. So what I want to do is open up a blank version of the pricing chart to get into. And basically what we're going to do is open up that blank version of the pricing chart and then go into that same folder, go into the folder where we had saved the data we had just downloaded, and look for that demo full export and open that up. And all of this, I'm running Windows 7 and Office 2010. It might look a little bit different if you're running a different older version of Office, but it should function pretty much the same way. I just went through the dialog there to allow Excel to get the data from a text document. And now what I want to do is forget about the header line here, but just go ahead and click and drag and grab all of the data that you've got here. It's okay if you grab a couple of extra rows, and then press Control and C, or copy. You can click on copy there. And then now what we want to do is go back to the blank chart and find A2 right under listing number there. Click into that cell and then click paste. Okay? Now, important to know in this chart, you only want to modify things on the tabs that are highlighted in blue. Everything else will automatically populate. Okay, so in this case, we're just pasting the data in here. And then one of the things that I did in the filter data is I put in a best category. What I was finding when I was working through this is that sometimes even when we're gathering data, we might want to have a larger set of data for the odds of selling or for the days on market or the sold scatter. But by the time we get to price line and we really want to focus in on things, we might want to filter that data down even a little bit more. So in this case, all I'm asking you to do is it's all set up for putting a capitalized X on those that are the most important to you. So you can just put an X in there and then click copy and then highlight the cells that you might want to be able to put in as your favorites in this search. And in this case, I'm just going to put in kind of randomly some favorites, but of course you can be more judicious about it. And in that case, what it'll end up doing is that'll determine what shows up on your price line here. So there we go. That's how to import the data. Okay, and to select what you want. Now, each of these charts are set up so you can go ahead and print them, but they're based upon automatic scaling of the axes, and you can kind of see it here how we're only looking at properties between $600,000 and $800,000, but our scale goes all the way down to 100,000. If you want to, you can go ahead and print things as they stand. All you need to do is click on the first tab and then just click print. You can go up and just go into the print dialog, and you can go tab by tab and print things out, and the print areas are already set up and everything like that. If you'd like to brand it, let me know and we can we can put in headers and footers to provide personal branding there. But let's assume that when we get out to like days on market here, that you might want to change the axis a little bit to be a little bit more relevant to what you want. So what you want to do here is you want to click on the axis and you want to go Format Axis, and then you might want to change the minimum. So in this case, we'll go from an auto minimum of 0 to maybe a fixed minimum of 500,000. And that'll give us a chart that's just a little bit more relevant here, and it actually shows a pretty dramatic sold trend line. Now those trend lines as well, you can modify those a little bit. You can go in and hit Format Trend Line. Now I played around with the data quite a bit, and I found that polynomial order 2 seemed to be the most relevant, or the provided the best, most consistent trend line in most cases when I've been working with this. But you can change it around a little bit to see what trend lines look like when you change the type of trend line that you use. And I'll leave that up to you to research. But like I said, when in my research, I found the polynomial order 2 to seem to be the most relevant. So you might want to go in and change, each of the axes. When you do this, I highly encourage you to go ahead and change the file name here. That way, you've got the best opportunity to keep the data as strong as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and do that here. I'll just do a save as and put in the demo. And again, here, this is our square footage, it appears. So we might want to reformat that axis and just put that back on auto. And you can see that kind of messes with our trend lines here. So in this case, I'll go ahead and put it back at the fixed, because that seems to, and we'll maybe put it at 3,500 for the square footage there. So you can see the trend line that develops there. Market scatter, same thing. We can just go in and modify the axes here. And perhaps the most important axis to change will be those within the price line here. So you want to get it within your relevant range. So in this case, we'll just go. My search was based upon 600 to 800,000. So we can easily put that in, and you can put in whatever range you choose on each of these, but you just need to make sure that the range is relevant so that it provides the best charting possible. And again, I'm just clicking on the numbers there on the axis and then typing in 600,000 and then going down and typing in 800,000. And there you go. These are your price lines. Last thing, I'll go back on the market scatters and the sold scatter there. You can see that this is square footage. I wasn't very specific in my square footage here, so you can certainly modify this. I can look at this trend line and see, yeah, this is probably not the ideal trend line for that. So I can go back in and format that trend line to be something a little bit different. Maybe change it. Yeah, it looks like I need to change it down a little bit there. So there you go. That's how you do it. If you want to print all of these at once, just click on the first tab, hold down the Control key, and click on the other tabs, and then go to File and Print. And then at this point, it'll give you, at least for Outlook 2010 here, this is what it looks like, and there's my print preview. It'll print all 5 at once. And again, you want to save this. Again, you probably want to, if you're going to modify stuff, you probably don't want to modify that blank there. Feel free to give me a call or send me an email with any questions that you have, and I hope this works out well for you. Take care.